I'm going to talk about the different Medicare supplement plans and the things that you need to know, so stay tuned. I'm Keith Armbrecht, founder of Medicare on Video. I hope you'll find the information in this video very helpful and presented in an easy to understand format. Turning Medicare eligible is actually a very good thing. You'll likely find Medicare to be a much better alternative for your health insurance needs than what you may have had previously. But there are some choices. So I've created a Medicare Resource Center where I have a complete video library on everything Medicare. You'll also find all the necessary links and the guides and the forms that go along with them. So after this video, take just a few minutes to explore our Resource Center. I'm sure you'll find everything that you need for Medicare. You can also get an immediate quote for your Medicare supplement insurance. Just fill in your basic information and it'll bring up the rates for the plans that are available in your area. It would also be a great idea to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you'll always have access to my videos and you'll get updates as they come along. So again, I hope you find this information very helpful and please let me know if I can help. Okay, so let's talk about Medicare supplement plans. And most likely you're coming into Medicare. Either you just turned 65 or you're about to turn 65 and you're going to be coming into Medicare. Or maybe you've worked past 65 and you're still on your group insurance and that's going to end and then now you're going to come into Medicare. And both of those are the same. So whether you're 65 or you're coming off your group insurance, it's kind of an open window when you come into Medicare. You're able to pick any plan that you want and the insurance company can't say no. So it's certainly important now that we make the right choice because this is likely going to be with you the rest of your life. So it's certainly very important to understand your choices and make sure that you make the right decision. So I'm going to try and run through it pretty easily for you and show you what the different options are. You know, your first choice when you come into Medicare is right off the bat, do you stay with Original Medicare or do you go with a Medicare Advantage plan? And they are significantly different. I have other videos on the difference between them, so make sure you look through Medicare on Video for a little more specifics. But you know, I'll always tell you what I think or what I would do, and hands down, 99 out of 100 times I would take Original Medicare just because it gives you more control. It allows you to go to any doctor, any hospital, anywhere in the country that accepts Medicare. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan, it's more of a network-based HMO type environment where you have to go to certain doctors, certain hospitals. It's usually in a specific area. So if you travel, it's not a very good choice. And if you wanted to go somewhere by choice, it's not a very good choice. So, you know, it does fit for a lot of folks in certain situations. You'll see that, you know, there's generally little or no cost sometimes to Medicare Advantage plans, but that's to kind of get you in, and you would see that you would lose a lot of your flexibility and your choice when it comes to your health. And to me, that's number one. So supplements don't cost a whole lot of money and absolutely gives you the most flexibility. So I would hands down choose a Medicare supplement if at all possible. So let's look at our different choices on Medicare supplements. And guess what? There's way too many choices. Why they put this many choices out there, I don't have any idea, because we're going to break it down much smaller than this. So here we have 10 choices. They run from A to N. There's some letters missing in the middle. There's some letters that used to be there that aren't there anymore. So they make it just convoluted and complicated for somebody that really has no background in insurance to try and figure out what the best plan is. So not only do we have 10 choices, we really have 11 choices. And number 11 is this little asterisk right here, which is Plan FHD. And I have a video specific on Plan FHD, and it's at this domain, www.planfhd.com, goes right to that video. But if you're in a certain part of the country, specifically Florida or New York, there are a couple other places, but primarily Florida and New York, FHD is likely going to be your best choice. It's likely going to be your only choice. It's the one that makes the most sense. So if you live in Florida or New York, just take a look at that video. If you live elsewhere, really not worth taking a look at. So you're going to be happy with our regular Medicare supplement choices. So let's take it down from 11 choices down to 3, and makes it pretty simple. Plan F, Plan G, Plan N. And in the past, probably the last 15 years, hands down, the most popular Medicare supplement choice has been Plan F. And why would that be? Well, if you look at the chart, where it says yes, that means it's covered. So on Plan F, it's yes, 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 yes. It literally covers everything. So there's no out-of-pocket cost on Plan F. So that's a great thing, right? Well, not really in insurance. What that would mean in insurance is you're paying too much for your insurance. I don't know anybody that has 100% coverage on their car, 100% coverage on their house without any deductible, without any co-insurance. You know, it just doesn't make sense on the insurance side to overpay just because you have 100% coverage. So why has it been the most popular choice? And it's pretty simple. It's easy for an agent to sell. And, you know, when folks don't really understand their choices and an agent is telling you this is the Cadillac of all plans, it is by far the best plan, it covers everything, you know, it's pretty easy to get somebody to go along with you. What they aren't telling you is it costs more than it should, and I make more money when I sell it. So, you know, it's something that might be better on the agent side than on your side. So Plan F, and there's a couple other reasons, it's going away in 2020. So there's reasons we don't want to be in it after 2020. So absolutely, without any doubt, Plan F is not the choice. So you'll get some argument from your uncle, from your brother-in-law, from your neighbor, somebody that has Plan F that's going to tell you it's the Cadillac, it's the best. But just take comfort in knowing that you're making a better decision in this scenario. And again, this is going to be with you for the long term, so let's get it right. So cross F off our list, and now our two choices are G and N. And you know, like I said, FHD kind of wiggles its way in there a little bit, but only in a couple of areas. So, but let's talk specifically about G and N. And if you live in the vast majority of the country, G and N are going to be your choices, and that's what you're going to be really picking from. So Plan G, if we look down the list, yes, 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 yes. There's only one no. So that one no on G is the Part B deductible. So Part B has a $183 deductible. So Plan G pretty much covers exactly the same as F, with the exception of that $183 deductible. So we're going to have insurance that pretty much has 100% coverage on the medical side, and our out-of-pocket exposure is going to be $183 for the year. I mean, I don't know what plan you're coming out of now, but I can almost guarantee, or I'd bet that you would have a higher than $183 deductible. You probably also have co-insurance and co-pays and things of that nature. So this is fantastic coverage. Plan G is absolutely fantastic coverage. It'll make your life super simple going forward. So I am a big fan of Plan G. Now, the other plan that comes along is Plan N. So Plan N also wiggles its way in here a little bit if the circumstances are right. So let's take a look at Plan N on the benefit side. Yes, 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 yes. There's two no's on Plan N. So before I get to the two no's, if we back it up a little bit to the Part B coinsurance, you can see now there's asterisks. And asterisks are rarely ever good. So we now have to go looking for what those three asterisks mean. So if we go to the small print on N, and why we need small print, I don't have any idea, but just makes everything more complicated. So small print says Plan N pays 100% of the Part B coinsurance. So it pays the coinsurance that F does and G does, but it's going to have a co-payment of up to $20 at an office visit, or up to $50 in the emergency room. And I'd like to just get rid of those up tos, because it's pretty much going to be $20 each time you go for an office visit, or $50 if you go to the emergency room, which, you know, isn't so bad, but it is extra out-of-pocket expense. So in order for that to be okay, the premium has to be that much less than G to make it worthwhile. So let's get back to looking at the chart. And so you have those asterisks. So we got to understand that. You got the $20 copays at the doctor's office, or really any office visit, whether it's lab work or specialist, whatever it may be, or $50 if we go to the emergency room. And then this other no. So first off, it doesn't cover the Part B deductible, just like G. So it doesn't cover that $183. So not too big of a deal. But the other no makes it a little different. So Part B excess charges. Plan N does not cover Part B excess charges. And again, another complicated way that Medicare has set this up. But what excess charges are is if you go to the doctor or you go to the hospital or whatever it may be, if they accept Medicare assignment, then that means they will accept what Medicare pays them, and that's the end of the story. So if they accept Medicare assignment, they take what Medicare pays and it's done. If they do not take assignment, if they accept Medicare but do not take assignment, then they have the ability to bill you 15% above what Medicare pays them. So it just makes things convoluted. And again, it's not as bad as it sounds if you do the math. You know, if you ended up with a $100 bill and they had excess charges and they could bill you another $15 kind of scenario, but it just cloudies the water. So it just doesn't make it, you know, nice and simple and easy. So there has to be enough premium differential to make N worthwhile. And I'll show you what I think that is in just a minute. Now, keep in mind, there are 8 states that do not allow excess charges. So these 8 states do not allow excess charges. So if you're in one of these states, it makes N a much more, you know, interesting option, and it makes it much more palatable just to have the additional copay and for the emergency room and for the doctor's office. So as we go through, what to understand about Plan F. So Plan F covers 100%, covers everything. You don't have to worry about any out-of-pocket expense with Plan F. Not a good thing. Not in the insurance world. It's just too much coverage, and it also has a high premium. So it's costing you more than what it should. And most people I talk to don't want to pay more for insurance than they absolutely have to. Now, it's also changing in 2020. So come 2020, they finally figured out that 100% plans just don't make any sense. So they are stopping enrollment into Plan F come 2020. And what that'll mean is if you're in Plan F, then you're going to stay in Plan F. But come 2020, if you're coming into Medicare, then you will not be able to choose Plan F. And to me, being an insurance guy, pretty simple insurance understanding that your risk pool, if no new blood is coming in going past 2020, it's just going to get older and older and less healthy, which I would assume will result in higher than average rate increases. And that may or may not happen, but it just makes logical sense that that will likely happen after 2020. So under no circumstance should you choose Plan F. There's other reasons why you would not choose Plan F. So let's talk about Plan G. Wonderful. Plan G is wonderful. Covers 100% everything just like Plan F, with the exception of the Part B deductible, the $183. Big deal. $183 deductible for the year. You get hit by a bus that's going to cost you $183. What a great deal. So it's also always at least $183 less in premium than Plan F. So it covers its own deductible in the premium that you save. Most of the time it's $200 or $300 less than Plan F. So not only do you cover your deductible, but you're going to make out on the plus side from the premium savings. So Plan G is a terrific option unless we have Plan N to look at, which, you know, what to understand first about Plan N is doesn't cover that Part B deductible, just like G, $183, has that $20 copay for an office visit, $50 copay for an ER visit, and does not cover excess charges unless you live in one of those 8 states. So, you know, again, there's more on this page, and I don't like more on this page because it's just more stuff to think about. But there are times where Plan N is the way to go. So when to choose Plan F? Never choose Plan F. Doesn't make sense in any circumstance. You know, there's one small space where it's guaranteed issue, which is a whole different story. It doesn't apply if you're just coming into Medicare, where F is your only choice. So, you know, if you had to have it, you had to have it. When to choose Plan G? Affordable premium, full coverage with the exception of the $183 deductible. stable rates in the future. It can provide, because it has a deductible, it's a little more predictive and allows for stable rates in the future. When to choose Plan N? Doesn't cover that $183. Has that $20 copay for doctor's visits, $50 copay for ER, and does not cover the excess charges. So there are certain times where we would choose Plan N, and I'll show you right now. So what would I do? What would Keith do if he were choosing? So I always like, when I'm doing things like this, if I go to a restaurant and I ask the waiter what's good, the last thing I want to hear is everything's good. So it's just not the case, where here everything is kind of good if you want to look at it that way. But if I were choosing, number one, I would buy Plan G. So if things all are just the way they're supposed to be, I would purchase Plan G. If Plan N is less than $25 in premium than Plan G, now I'm looking at Plan N, because there's enough premium savings. You know, that's $300 a year in cost savings. That easily covers the copays and gives me a little more comfort with the excess charges. So if it's less than $25 than G, I'm looking at Plan N. So keep that in mind. If it's $20 less, I'm buying G. If it's $15 less, I'm buying G. Now, when I would consider Plan FHD, and this is pretty simple. Also, if you live in a part of the country where the premium for Plan G is more than $190, I'm looking at FHD all day long. So, and I guarantee you, you know, most places in the country, Plan G going to be pretty close to $100. It can range from 100 to 110, 120, sometimes even 140. But in certain states that mandate certain benefits, like Florida, like New York, that Plan G premium can get up to $220, which is absolutely ridiculous. If it is more than $190, we're looking at Plan FHD. And again, if that's the case, watch that planfhd.com video and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I run through all the math, show you exactly what I do. So what would I do? I would buy Plan G, number one, unless N is $25 less than Plan G. Then I'm looking strong at N. Unless my Plan G premium is more than $190, then I'm looking at Plan FHD. So that's pretty cut and dry and simple. So now that we know which plan, now we got to figure out which insurance company. So that's a whole different story. And that's what I do, obviously. I help with your Medicare supplement plan. So I'm contracted in 49 out of 50 states. So I'm licensed in 49 out of 50 states where I can help just about anywhere in the country. The only state that I don't do currently is Massachusetts. So I hope you haven't sat through this whole video if you're sitting in Massachusetts, because it's a little different in Massachusetts. But everywhere else, we can figure out exactly the right plan, whether it's G, N, or FHD, and then we'll figure out the right insurance carrier. So I'm licensed with just about every major insurance carrier, so it doesn't make any difference which one we go with. We want to find the best value. So whichever one is the best value, the lowest price for the best plan, that's what we're going to do, and it will absolutely always be what's best for you. So it's a little, different from place to place and how things work, but just visit my website, MedicareOnVideo.com. I'm happy to help with any of it. Just you can run a quote right on my website, put in your basic information, and we will get you the pricing on G, on N, on FHD. Pretty easy to understand. And then when it comes time to make your decision, certainly happy to help with that. It takes about 10 minutes over the phone, so it's really easy to do. And we just make sure we get all your pieces in the right places. So last thing we want to do is worry about our Medicare, and it's just much easier to have a goal of really never thinking about your health insurance again. So we'll get it right the first time, and if there's anything I can do, just contact me and I'd be happy to help. I hope you found this helpful, and have a fantastic day.